Jonathan Smith. They are fellow adventurers. They took a 2-week hike across Big Bend National Park as well as Big Bend Ranch State Park. Last year, they wanted to explore the possibility of a new 150-mile-long trail that links the diverse ecosystems of the Chihuahuan Desert, really beautiful country. McDonald, you should know, is the environmental reporter or environment reporter at the Express News. Express News, right? Smith is an architect with Lake Flato Architects, anyone with that group. And also currently serves as president for the local chapter of the American Institute of Architects. Please welcome Colin McDonald and Jonathan Smith.
There's two of us. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Colin.
And we're going to be sharing the mic, so this may be pretty entertaining. Hopefully.
Does that work? All right. No, it doesn't work. Okay.
All right, we'll have to dance. Yeah, get close. All right. Away we go. In the spring of 2010, Colin and I walked 11 days across the Big Bend. The hike encompassed the Big Bend State Park, the Big Bend National Park, parts of the Adams Ranch, and the Black Gap Wildlife Management Area. Tonight, we hope to introduce you to the Chihuahuan Desert.
So this is a lot of fun because there's no brochure for this. There's no guidebook for this. It's the only through hike in Texas you can do without being shot at. And both parks, the National Park and the State Park, will actively discourage you from doing this. But it's incredibly accessible and it's lots of fun.
So walking is very simple. 3 guys and 3 backpacks. All you need is yourself, supplies, and perhaps some planning to make a similar trek. This is Colin and I, and Sean joined us for the State Park portion of the trip. This group portrait was taken during a dust storm that locals refer to as trading real estate with Mexico.
So it's really straightforward. The State Park has no funding. Thank you. The State Park has no funding, so they have no trails. So you just head.
Hiking in the desert happens on 2 scales. One is the vastness, where you can see your entire days or weeks hike ahead of you, and the other is the fascinating, the foreground, where you discover these fascinating objects, or like Easter eggs along the trail, or not trail in that case.
So the other part about this is that we're all like 30-year-old males, and we go out there and you can do anything you want. So Sean wants to work on his long jump skills. And if he twists his ankle, he's screwed. But we put this photo together.
The State Park feels particularly wild and unexplored, as it has very few trails, as Colin alluded to. After scaling this cap rock, we came upon the old wildlife trail that we had been seeking that was sort of on our maps. Even the javelina don't like walking through the cactus, so there are sort of game trails to follow at times.
So this is the cool part. In our research for it, the State Park and the National Park, their maps are okay. So actually the best way to do it is with Google Earth images, because any trail that's anywhere decent has been there for like 500 years. So it's literally carved into the rock. So these are the wagon ruts from the Marfa Mercury Trail.
The Big Bend always seems to be in a boom or bust. This Mad Max scene was taken outside the Mercury mines near Lajitas and is inside the State Park. Our USGS quad maps that we've been using was last updated in 1972 and showed these mines still being in operation then.
So the boom-bust cycle continues. These guys are currently selling custom lots.
This was taken on our hike.
Yeah, so we're walking through the desert.
This is in between the State Park and the National Park.
And these guys are selling property on a golf course that is either flooded or dying because there's no water. And they're really excited and really, really friendly.
So this is about a mile from that. And this is into the National Park and onto the Mesa de Anguila. And again, here you can sense the vastness of walking across this landscape. This is Mexico off in the background. As there are no highways, trains, few planes, very few birds, it's completely silent. You can basically hear your heartbeat out there.
So you get some wild horses coming over from Mexico, and you get the desert sun, and then you walk along, you look down, you realize you're walking over an ancient seabed because there are all these fossils, and you can't hear anything, and it's a little different.
It's amazing when all you have to do for 11 days is walk towards the horizon. From a speeding car, the desert floor appears a static, sterile, and monotonous object. But on foot, the desert floor is a constantly changing and evolving underfoot. And so this is Colin just a few hours apart when we're walking towards the Chisos Mountains.
So we're not the only ones who went loony, because people a couple thousand years ago did this stuff to a wall. And it's amazing. You walk by and you're like, oh yeah, I get it. But this is the Chimneys. It's a popular hike in Big Bend.
Colin completely interpreted that. Nature is sometimes more confusing than man, as you saw on the last slide. Here we hiked through the Dr. Seuss-like landscape of Blue Canyon Creek. As we entered the foothills of the Chisos Mountains, we were joined by Raymond Skiles, who is the chief national park biologist, who is completely fascinating to walk and hike through the Chisos with.
Because Raymond is this badass guy who totally, he loves Big Bend and stayed there. His career is there. So he knows every peak. And the whole time you're there, he's like, oh yeah, see that Mexico? Yeah, I climbed that. Can you climb it now? No, it's closed. Well, did you climb it then? No, I just went there. Oh, okay. And the best part about this is that that's where we're going.
So I'll pick up. Raymond is incredibly knowledgeable about the park and its inhabitants. He suggested that we hike through the most pristine bear habitat in the park, called Pine Canyon, which we were incredibly excited about. The bears were hibernating, by the way. But be careful what you wish for, because as Pine Canyon's trails are cut by bears, they're 3 feet tall and about at a 45-degree angle.
So you walk and walk and walk. This is the Dead Horse Mountains. They're nasty, and we're really happy to get out of it. And then you just keep on walking.
So again, another slide talking about walking. Walking many places in the desert takes a serious amount of concentration. Pants and the counterintuitive ability to step in the center of Lechuguilla are very important. Here we cross into the Black Gap Wilderness area from the Adams Ranch. You can notice the small amount of water in my water bottle. That's all we had between the two of us at that point.
Jonathan drank all of it. But the Chihuahuan Desert, it really is. It's this, if you have the water and if you don't go up anything, you can't come down, or down anything, you can't come up. It's actually a very welcoming place to be. So you should go, and please don't litter.